Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some intriguing news going on throughout the good old PlayStation 5. We have two major big things to go and talk about over here. We have number one, a very big feature that's been kind of being teased and kind of been in the works for a while. It is seeming like it's finally actually coming out in the very near future, which will actually be a pretty, at least in my opinion, pretty big game changer when it comes to the PlayStation 5, especially with how much I personally go use it myself every single day. And as well, we have a part two where we actually have a very interesting article more so on the global takeover of the PlayStation 5 and basically all these really cool areas and kind of the overall stock numbers, what people are buying, how many numbers are going on, and basically just the overall overworld takeover. We actually kind of talked about that a little bit too as well with Japan, where it actually seemed like the Japanese basically was, well, completely dominating the Xbox Series X market. So we have a lot of fun and cool things to go and talk about all throughout this video. So if you guys will stay tuned and enjoy. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic weekend. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway going on the channel itself. We also do have the Amazon links down below, always for the PS5 disc, digital console, and controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well. The link down below if you guys want to follow up on either or and sign up for Weeble. Deposit $100, you guys go get a bunch of free stock, and if you're much just instantly go and sell and withdraw and all that good stuff. So let's go dive on it. Also, give me your thoughts and comments down below if you guys are actually been able to go want to use and see these features, or if you guys ever like these more so global world too as well. So one of the kind of biggest things over here, and I'm sure you guys may have heard about this because we made a video on it maybe like 4 or 5 months ago when the initial leaks / partnerships all kind of came on out. But this is in regards to Discord. Now, if you guys actually don't know, Discord itself actually is just like a nice thing like a Skype or TeamSpeak, Raid Call, if you guys remember any of those voice apps. Basically, it's easy to go make a group, basically easy to go find friends, go message friends, send pictures and all of that. So apparently this has been like a big feature that's been in the works for a while, where Sony wants to go and partner with them and basically go and utilize this in the first place. So let's go and talk about this. So basically a long-awaited PSN feature is finally coming now very soon. So a long-awaited PSN feature is finally coming soon, or at least what a lot of leaks and people are seeing and suggesting. For PS4 owners, the feature is set to be the biggest added to the console in quite some time, while basically on PS5, fans are about to have a very valuable exclusive feature of the Xbox Series X. And I think this actually is a huge feature too as well, that I do think can kind of be like, well, a big reason to get a console over another one, at least in my opinion. And this is actually the feature of Discord integration with PlayStation Network. As well, we've actually kind of known about this. We kind of covered this. We saw like the leaks forever ago, but this actually is the very first update we've had a chance to see in quite some time. So we should have a Reddit user over here and basically a Discord user revealed that this week they were actually finally able now to unlock the option now to go and link their PSNs with their Discord, which usually hasn't been available ever since the initial leak kind of came on out to. But now that people are seeing this, and usually that's like the very first stage of like kind of somewhat public or somewhat like testing out publicly, if you actually can go and like interlock the APIs and make sure it actually works. So basically that means that like since that function is basically working, that means there's probably gonna be a nice time with it. And I think probably the last little finishing touches are going to be the fact of basically making sure the Discord app works and kind of testing the UI, UX and all of that. But I really do think this is actually be a massive feature. We do know this is gonna be coming very soon. And I think that's the one thing that would really set me apart from my PlayStation 5 over my Xbox Series X, because I don't mind using like those in-game services, think Steam or PlayStation or Xbox Messenger, but having a Discord group where all your friends can get together, send messages, and even utilize it. Maybe you're hanging on your bed, you're playing games, you just want to basically go squat on up. This will be an absolute game changer, which in all honesty, I would probably rather have this on my console than most other features or even cloud gaming, because the one big thing for me is if I want to play games or try to schedule game time, or maybe we want to go a little more hardcore and say like a Destiny 2 type style game and have like a raid group and looking for group, I would love this. So this, to me, I think is actually going to be a feature that will probably actually be a really big, clear winner for the PlayStation over the Xbox. This is all the other brand new features coming out in the near future. So we saw the leaks, we saw the information for it, and I got to be honest, whenever this does go and happen, will be very cool. Although it's not here as of yet, it's rumored as of sometime sooner, especially now because it has already been announced before, and with all the brand new features and updates being added, I can't wait to go and see this. And as well, we kind of want to do a little bit of a part 2 for this, because I actually saw an article around here before. This actually came from someone who is actually physically in India, and we've kind of covered this a little bit as of this week, where we saw Japan, where if we saw the sales numbers, it was around a million consoles or so, PlayStation 5 consoles, where the Xbox Series X was around 100,000. And at that point, even the PS4 was selling more, and that was in Japan. So it's almost kind of a part two in the story, seeing this even more, where it's over in India, where India's basically was the best-selling console of 2021. So basically, the sources in the supply chain speaking to them on the conditions of anonymity, the PlayStation 5 sales best the Xbox Series X 10-1 as well. Over 90% of the PlayStation 5 sold in India were the disc variant rather than the digital edition due to the greater consumer demand, as well as also just kind of like correct this article just a little bit. It's also because they also make more money on the disc version over the digital version in most typical cases too as well. And also a lot of people also were saying too for the PS4, since the PS4 did not go and sell as well, they were kind of maybe assuming that the PS5 would not be doing as good, but usually on these once a month really big restocks we see in India, they have still been selling out almost instantaneously, which is also crazy to go and see, especially also because online stores at least have been somewhat consistently getting stock as well. And also they keep on trying to go push more on the visibility of also just normal stores. So things like a Target walk-in and stuff like that, just for the Indian equivalent to as well. And they've also been trying their best to be pretty on top of the sales, but it's always intriguing to go and see on how well the PlayStation 5 is doing over the Xbox Series X too as well. So what a lot of folks can even were estimating on this too on top of this, and I think this might not be as good, although I do think India as of now has sold less than Japan, because Japan's been having the consoles for a lot longer, it's a homegrown country, etc., etc. Some of the numbers, which they probably are a little bit higher, but we almost never hear anything about the Xbox Series X and S in other countries besides maybe the UK, Canada, and America. They still get trickled around a little bit, in Europe. They also get trickled around a little bit in Australia, Japan, etc. But if they also want to use the same ratios, based on what they do over here, this is some kind of random person. I just think it's an interesting thing to go talk about. That they're saying the console numbers can be as little as 6,000 throughout the entirety of all the Xbox Series X's in India, which is phenomenally low. Now, I think it's a little bit higher than that, but if we want to go by what Japan was getting, that was only in the 90,000s throughout the entire year. And I think also India did also launch a little bit later too on top of that. So it actually, I don't want to say it'd be that low, but just the 1 to 10 estimation we keep on seeing from these other countries and other regions, it just goes to show that some of these countries are just getting brutally destroyed in the Xbox Series X department. Now, this is more so on the fact that probably Microsoft wants to focus in the Americas, the UKs, try to get more people on the Game Pass, etc. Although, when you keep on seeing the Xbox Series S's, keep on kind of making its way in all these more of like mid-tier countries where it might be harder for them to go pay the upfront $500 cost, and they also more so want to have people up in Game Pass with also regional pricing too as well. I think a lot of folks also too had a lot of issues with the Xbox One back in the day where they really weren't necessarily going for the global conquest. Well, it does kind of seem at least the PlayStation 5, even though it's focusing more on the American markets, does seem like it is still trying their best to at least go and taper in a little bit for all these various other countries too as well. Some also intriguing things to kind of note for Indian games too on top of that was that Deathloop, the Bethesda's biggest selling game in India at launch, best in the likes of even Skyrim, Doom, and Fallout 4, mainly because of Sony's wide in-store presence and marketing efforts too as well. On top of that, Resident Evil Village sold the most on PS4 at launch, which would also make more sense too because there's typically more PS4s in places like India than PS5s. As well as also a lot of people are trying to more so shy away from PS4 games that can be upgraded to go to the PS5 versions too as well. And also if the game is on PS5 and PS4, with the latter allowing a free PS5 upgrade, customers definitely prefer the native PS5 version on disc, which would make sense too as well. Some other intriguing stuff to kind of go note, which I thought was cool and kind of makes sense, that Call of Duty was actually pulling like 15,000 units, although that may not seem crazy. I think that's only for physical in-store units though too as well, and not also done, for digital consoles. And apparently also they also haven't done a big like distributor basically over there from CD-ROMs, and they're trying their best to go work through the normal markets. As well, on top of that, 2K, or WWE more so, actually did pretty okay in the top 5, which is kind of surprising since this is more of like a wrestling type game. Very intriguing to go and see, but I guess even for other places such as India and Japan, they still like the sports games, which I'm always kind of surprised on that. Because I feel like if I was Indian animals, I almost want to have my own version of my Indian like sports teams and my local areas and stuff like that, but at least that's just me. As well as also apparently Guardians of the Galaxy also did really good in India after Spider-Man, which actually clocked in 50,000 units. And I still kind of feel these overall units are a little bit more on the smaller side, but it's always intriguing just kind of seeing what the other regions are also buying. And it's kind of cool to kind of see the comparison with us too as well. And also apparently too, the Nintendo Switch was also very, very slow at launch. And this is mainly just because like they also just had like the previous Switch already available, and the price points, especially in India, it's always hard to kind of go through in the first place. So they at this point they've hit 130,000, which is also extremely low. But I mean, I guess what can you do? So it's kind of crazy to see how bad the Xbox Series X is doing and how small these consoles are actually showing up in India, despite on how big India is. And it's super cool to go and see these new features that are actually probably going to go beat the Xbox Series X, especially when it comes to Discord. So if you guys want to leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed, or give me your thoughts and comments down below, would love to go see it. As well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc digital console controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, linked down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, you get a bunch of free stock, just instantly sell it, withdraw it, all that good stuff, and same with Coinbase. And I'll see you guys later on throughout today for more videos.